Welcome everybody to another episode of Fantasy News. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Greene. You can go ahead and pick up the What Language Do Your Trees Speak merch, of course, in the links down below if you'd like to gatekeep fantasy on the regular. And thank you guys for making that skit. The Tolkien skit rapidly becoming my most viewed video of all time. It's just shooting through the ranks, now at over 300,000 views, which for me is crazy good. But let's go ahead and jump on into the news here, shall we? Starting with a new book announcement from Tor.com. Birds of Paradise by Oliver Legmead. Described as American Gods meets Chronicles of Narnia. This will focus around Adam, yes, that Adam, walking the earth looking for lost pieces of Eden after he is a pale reflection of what he used to be and humanity makes him all sad and depressed. I don't know. Just a cool little take. I'm not usually into Christian fantasy, but this seems pretty neat. But go ahead and check it on out in the links down below and let me know what you think of this one. But before we get into the rest of today's news, a quick word from today's sponsor. All right, guys, guess who brought you today's video? I'll wait. Just guess. It's Skillshare, guys. It's Skillshare. Guys, Skillshare. Today's video is brought to you by Skillshare. Are you interested in improving yourself and just stop binge watching shows you've seen a million times before? Guess what? For less than $10 a month for the annual subscription, I do want to clarify that, you can have Skillshare available for you. Recently, I did this photo shoot where the guy made me look all real pretty, and I was like, how'd you do that? And he's like, I'm really skilled with DSLRs. And you know what Skillshare happened to have available? Boom! DSLR course by Justin Bridges. He's gonna take you over that bridge to up your DSLR game. Okay, now I know a lot about taking DSLR photography, but I'm too afraid to take my DSLR outside because what if I trip and break it? I spent so much money on it. But this class was awesome. But this class was great, and I recommend you go ahead and check it on out if you're interested in it, or any of the tons of other topics Skillshare has available. It's one of the sponsors YouTubers trust most because it's just a very good product for an extremely reasonable price. A lot of these courses are pretty entertaining and will still stimulate you while you learn. And for the first 1,000 people to use that link in the description down below, you will get 2 free months of Skillshare. It's just a good deal. Back to the video. Now we got a Brandon Sanderson update. Yes, from the man Brando Sando Fando Lando himself. This is probably the last update we'll be getting for the Kickstarter, but it did pass the $7 million stretch goal, which means we will be getting a Michael Kramer and Kate Redding recording audiobook narration of Way of Kings Prime. Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I like that a lot. Big fan of those two narrating anything, especially when it's Brandon Sanderson. Gonna check that on out for sure. Heck yes.
Those of you who are going a little bit crazy waiting for Trouble with Peace, the next Joe Abercrombie first law book, it seems we've gotten the first 5 minutes and 53 seconds put on SoundCloud. So if you are an audiobook person who wants to listen to the first little bit, it's there for you, linked in the description.
And we also got a look at WitchesShadow by Susan Dennard. And no matter how long I leave covers up on the screen, I eventually get a comment saying, hey, I didn't get a good enough look, even though you have the ability to pause. So here's a really long still shot of the book. I'll even do a scrolly one. Look, now it's scrolling by. Now you get both worlds. You've been looking at this for a minute. It's the 4th installment in the Witchland series. So WitchesShadow, there you go. You're looking at it. Have you seen it enough? Next news. It's done now. Now, are you a Witcher mega fan? Good. Well, what about specifically the Netflix show? Because if so, you can currently bid on the rather well-known iconic shot for the series, Yennefer's lacy mask. I don't know what to call it. When she's wearing that sexy outfit in the trailer and in the show, she got that lacy mask on. They're currently putting it up for auction to raise money for children affected by war. So good cause right there. And if you want to own a piece of a costume that an actress wore for a few hours, I'm sure, go ahead and bid down in the link that it takes you to. I don't know, I've never been into like collecting artifacts from shows and stuff like this, but hey, it's for a good cause and I'm sure someone will be very happy to own this. Oh, and very quickly, the making of Witcher, like behind the scenes documentary thing is now on Netflix as well, so if you want to check that out, go check that out. But we have one more piece of Witcher news to get to before we jump into other franchises, and that is that apparently there's a new Witcher augmented reality game. The Witcher Monster Slayer is the latest Pokemon Go attempting, recreating. We've seen a lot of these since Pokemon Go's smash success. We saw one for Harry Potter. We've seen, basically, if you have a mega franchise, they're trying to do some kind of mobile game where you get people outside. And for this one, you'll be a Witcher going around finding monsters and slaying them on your phone. And there's been some backlash for this. I've seen people saying, like, this trailer doesn't show us anything. Well, it's an announcement trailer. Most announcement trailers aren't supposed to show you much. And then I've also seen some people saying, like, oh, this means they're not putting full game developers on other projects, when that's not how this works. Game developers working on this project are probably not the game developers working on other Witcher projects or other things from this company. That's not how this is done. Just because the name Witcher's on it doesn't mean they're grabbing the same game devs and throwing them somewhere else. The way I see it, there's going to be some people very happy by this, and I'm not going to play it, but it doesn't negatively affect me at all. So go right on ahead, and whenever this is supposed to come out, they haven't sent a release date yet, you can officially walk around outside staring at your phone as you desperately try and track down a location where a monster may or may not be, because they sometimes disappear before you get there, and it's quite frustrating, and then possibly kill it, but you'll have some sort of resource that could run out really quickly, and you'll have to spend money to get that resource more, unless you're one of the people lucky enough to, like, where they normally are, have whatever stops or checkpoints you'll have available to give you more of that thing you'll have to pay for. It's how these games work. Can you tell that I played Pokemon Go a bit too long and got a little resentful? Whatever. Moving on. We also had the news that UniKorn, the novel by Don Hanfield and Joshua Malkin, is being turned into a movie with Debbie Berman directing. I've never heard of this. I have no idea what it's about. I'm purely covering it because UniKorn is spelled with a K, and that makes me think of the band Korn. So now I'm picturing a heavy metal unicorn, and it made me chuckle on the inside because I get to go. That's why this was covered. Lord of the Rings video games have a rich and appreciated history within the fantasy community. Generally, they're very, very good. Even breaking, like, the curse of movie to game adaptations, the original, like, Lord of the Rings video games for the movies were really good. And then Battle for Middle-earth, I enjoyed both of those games. They have a nice reputation. And on top of that, without question, there's Shadow of Mordor, which I didn't play the sequel. There was some controversy around payments within that game, but I love the first. Now, we're getting another one. And of all the characters and all the stories you could bring to a game within Lord of the Rings, guess which one they've chosen? Guess what they're doing? It's a Gollum stealth adventure. Yeah. Now, okay. I'm not against this. If done well, I can see how it would be interesting. Neat, adventure. It's just not in 1,000 years what I would have chosen to make a game of, but hey, sure, I have no problem with it. So this would have to be a very, like, story-focused stealth adventure, hopefully going over in detail the corruption of Gollum. That, I mean, it has to be that, right? Like, that's what would make this a compelling stealth adventure to go on. And if there's any, like, heavy combat elements with Gollum, you've lost me. He struggled to wrestle a hobbit. No, you can't have him, like, going up against an Uruk-hai. That's not gonna be a thing, right? Now let's just go ahead and transition out of the harder core fantasy news and get into the possibility of a Wolverine replacement actor. The man behind Homelander in the TV show The Boys has expressed interest in bringing the iconic comic book character to the screen now that Hugh Jackman has officially left it behind. Anthony Starr wants the role. Now, it's gonna be big shoes to fill, right? Like, on the same level as filling in for Christopher Reeves in Superman, or whoever's gonna next take on Captain America or Iron Man. These are... Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, right? And so we've seen these kind of transitions handled to various levels of success. Obviously, Batman gets handed to generation so often you could call him, like, I don't know, the superhero role that's a bit loose. Not that I'm judging that. You can be as loose as you want. I'm a bit of a hoe myself. It's just curious to see, like, I like him for it, actually. That was my first thought. When I saw this, like, I like him for the role. And he's proven he can give a hell of a performance in The Boys. So, well, a lot of actors people throw forward to play Wolverine, I kind of have an immediate no response to. Him, I'm putting in the same camp as, like, Tom Hardy. Yeah, love to see Tom Hardy be Wolverine, and I'm also okay with him doing it as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you pro or anti Homelander being the new Wolverine? Now, I'm super happy to show you we have some photos from The Stand. The Stand. Josh Boone's upcoming The Stand miniseries has released its first promo image for us to gaze upon, and I'm very, very excited for this. This image in particular, if you've read the book, you know what's happening here, and yep, I'm here. Nope, that's gonna scare the crap out of me, but I'm here for it, I'm down. I can't wait. Let's get into this one. Can you tell I drank a lot of coffee this morning? I feel like it's very clear that I drank a lot of coffee this morning.
Also, apparently Altered Carbon got canceled over at Netflix, so sorry guys, no season 3 for that one there. Although if I would bet, it seems like one that it would be pretty likely another show or another streaming service or network would pick it up. Just a gut instinct there, but definitely won't be at Netflix.
And in Hollywood Has No Soul, nothing is off the plate, and anything will be readapted no matter how perfectly it was done the first time newsed. The Thing is being rebooted. Yes, the perfect original John Carpenter. Yes, it was technically a remake of something done before, but then they did it perfectly in the 80s, and they should leave it alone there. Don't do it again. But of course, they're going to do it again because Hollywood has no soul and anything for a paycheck, even though they did try to do The Thing again with, like, I think it was 2011. The Thing movie completely fell apart and was horrible. Hated that. Nope, they're gonna try yet again to do this. John Carpenter's attached. Nice, but just stop. Leave it be. This is like one of my few perfect horror movies, up there with the best of the best. Don't, please, just. Next news. And in the final piece of fantasy news we're going to cover here today, it has been confirmed the Dune trailer will drop September 9th after being exclusively available when you go see Tenet for a while. Tenet's coming out, I think, the last weekend of August, so it's going to come out very, very soon. And then after that, it'll be released online September 9th. I'm 100% sure we will get bootleg versions of this trailer, someone recording on their cell phone from a Tenet showing and then putting it online before they release the Tenet trailer online. So in my opinion, this is a very dumb move. But I'm sure it's happening due to some Hollywood contractual thing they have to do, where you can't just throw a trailer like this, or maybe they made some obligation to some other, I don't know. This seems like they're having to do this for some reason, because if I was them, I would be well aware and know the fact that this trailer is going to be leaked and presented to most people in poorer quality because it's being shown, in a theater before being put online like this. But yeah, this seems to me like they're being forced in some way, though I don't know for sure, obviously. Just speculation for me myself. But this has been your latest episode of Fantasy News. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you'd like to support what I do here. Check out the What Language Do Your Trees Speak merch if you want to support the channel while gatekeeping your fantasy novel all at once. And join the Discord server and post news in the Fantasy News channel if you are interested in seeing me cover a story. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to have a conversation with some YouTubers who won't stop partying during quarantine. Have a good one, y'all. And of course, I'd like to record a special shout out to my 4 latest high tier Patreons: Roy Taylor, James Hunter Phillips, Will Smith, and Grant DeYoung. Have a great one, y'all.